All right, welcome back, everyone, to the Sideline Report. This holiday, edition of the Sideline Report. And we have Santana Moss, Donna Hopkins, Lou Holder, and joining us now is Josina Anderson. Thanks for joining us, Josina.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Y'all saved me some pudding pie or whatever else you got cooking up that's dry and not ready and ain't got the right ingredients for Christmas.
It's coming through Amazon. It's in the mail.
Well, I definitely will be rejecting and returning the sender. If that's the case. So what's going on?
Yeah. So Josina was here in Washington covering the game. And Josina, give us your opinion of this game. And was it a surprise to you or anything like that?
Well, I just think from the jump, it was, a little bit lackluster just from the energy. It's kind of interesting when Sunday Night Football rolls through based on the perimeter of the field that, the team says they don't have room to accommodate their set on the field. So typically if I'm covering or I'm at a Sunday Night Football game, you feel a little bit more energy just by their set being there. And then just in general, in comparison to all the games back in the day, covering in DC, it just felt different from the beginning. I don't know if it was cold. I think Santana Moss is right on the button as far as, teams coming out of the bye, particularly Washington. So I think that was that. And then off jump, I think they just ran into Hurricane Kayvon because, even though he hasn't necessarily been, trending upward the entire season, starting from when he was drafted, obviously in his rookie year, under the lights, Kayvon has been stepping up and playing big, starting off that game with that fumble recovery, getting 12 tackles on the day, just overall setting the tone. And then it was the second time this season that Azeez Ojulari, Dexter Lawrence, Leonard Williams, who was out from a neck the game before, and Kayvon Thibodeau had all played together at the same time. So you're feeling that energy. And though I feel like the Giants still show that they struggle against the run, because I believe Brian Robinson got 96 rush yards in the first game that y'all played, and he still got off in this game, where you see it is in the pressure and how they're sacking the quarterback. So they still get 3 sacks on Heineke, 5 before, and then you guys, the Commanders not getting that call at the end was a travesty. I do believe that should have been called. But, what was me? That is football. And, at the end of the day, you can't leave it up to one play. So.
All right. Donna.
When you go back and look at, they were 2 of 10 on third downs. So it's almost like moving the ball also. And I think Josina and everybody hit it on there. Everybody wants to say the call that Terry had, the call at the end of the game, but it never should have come down to those calls anyway, because this team is so talented. When you look at what they've got on the offense, the receiver core, Brian Robinson, Taylor Heineke is what he is, and everybody knows that. But to have that type of talent and you can't produce but 12 points, not only in this game, but in previous games, they've got to be able to score points moving forward. And I know we haven't talked about San Francisco. That's going to be later. But if you thought the Giants' defense was strong, you just wait to go up against San Francisco's defense, because watching their defense, they come after the quarterback. And Scott Turner is going to have to be savvy, in his play calling if this team is going to pull out a win in San Francisco.
Yeah, I don't know if that's possible. He hasn't been savvy since the whole time he's been here. Savvy is just not savvy is not in Scott Turner's vocabulary. I don't think that's possible.
I tried to help, Lou. I tried to help.
I'm sorry. It boggles the mind because he has more, as you said, there is more weapons at his disposal than ever before. And how between Jahan, so Jahan is back. Terry's playing well, but that doesn't mean you go away from the run. The NFC East, Santana, you can attest to this. It's ground and pound in December, right? And the boy wants the ball, right? And he hasn't shown that he puts it on the carpet, so give him the ball.
I don't mean to cut you off, Lou, but not only that is ground and pound, it's just you play in your wheelhouse. That's what you're doing well. Why go away from it? And it seems to me that as soon as we get, someone goes up on us, now we panicking. Like, you don't have to panic. These guys only scored a touchdown. That's when we started going away from the pass. This guy had what? I think he had what, eight carries in the first half and finished the game with 12. Like something like that, right? That's ridiculous to me. And it was a stat that popped up when we were sitting there watching the game at NBC Sports, that when he's rushed for 15 or more carries, we was like 5-1-1 or something like that. So I'm like, at least get him to his 15 carries and see what he can do for us. But, you know, I also scratched my head too. I don't want to put this all on the offense. Defensively, we held them to 12 points, but it was at times where it seemed like they was able to do things that we didn't plan to. Like I said before, they countered. Every time we said, we're going to come here, we're going to make sure Daniel Jones don't run on us. I don't understand how we can't stop him from running, but he seems to have a great day when it comes to running the football against us. Okay, we play zone. Now we playing zone defense, and now he's picking us apart in the passing game. When they went for that 4th and 9, that was disrespectful, you know, and they got it. And they showed us, okay, you're going to put Bobby McCain on our slot receiver, which he might not be nothing to you guys, but we sure that he's going to beat Bobby McCain. And we kept sitting there and putting Bobby McCain, which is a safety, on this slot receiver. So to me, I feel like, again, like I said before, when you can't make the proper adjustments in the act of the game, then you deserve to be where you at and take an L, because we seemed like, and just not the first time that I've been saying this all year long, we don't make the adjustments until we get a chance to at halftime, and that's too late half of the time.
But Santana, what are they looking at during the week? That's what I don't understand. If they should have known the Giants up, down, backwards, sideways, and all of that. And I am so tired. Curtis Samuel is a wide receiver. Could you stop running him on that same old play that we've seen over and over again? I mean, they're killing me. Brian Robinson and Antonio Gibson is your running back, and Scott Turner can't pull nothing else out the hat of tricks and all of that. I mean, they've got to get better. They got to be better.
I'm with you, Donna. After the second carry that we gave Curtis, I was saying, like, it's something the Giants know. We need to go away from it, you know. And it just seemed like we was going to keep, you know, going after it, but it's been like that all year long. And
all year.
We can say what we want to say. Like, I'm not the person that's going to throw somebody under the bus, but when you're watching the game, it's just like you're throwing yourself under the bus. Some of that stuff is so generic to where it's like, you know, it's not hard. It's not hard to scheme for this. You know what I mean? I'm watching stuff that I'm like, even when we get in the red zone is the big reason too why we're not winning games, because you get down in the red zone and we're going to go empty. You're just showing this team, okay, I'm not going to make it hard for you. Just sit out there, rush for and cover, because we're not running the ball. And that's, like I said before, we do that well. So you don't give a chance. You don't give a team any other thought that say that they might run the ball, because we're going to go empty. And we're going to have one back here when we know we're going to fake and throw the ball. So, you know, I don't know. But like I said before, at the end of the day, you don't make it hard enough for any team to sit up there and have to plan for you. So that's why you see yourself in the situations, and then you want to blame the ref. You can't blame the ref. The ref didn't do anything. I understand those calls was suspect at the end, but we didn't do enough throughout the game for us to win. That's why we found ourselves in that situation.
And Marvin, I just want to ask, go off of one stat that Josina said. Thibodeau, 12 tackles. And again, I mean, that is insane. That is a tremendous effort. That player is special.
And did you see what happened to him on that play that we said was interference?
Yeah, he got poked in the eye.
He got poked in the eye. So that would have been a penalty on us, right?
That was going to be a sack.
That's hands to the face, right?
So, Josina, I'm curious. Do you think that the Giants, even though they won, are they really a better team than this Commanders team? Because Daniel Jones, to me, he's got this Commanders number, because like Santana said, he's running all over the place. And I mean, he countered everything that they were throwing at him.
I think that the Commanders have the ability to play better. And I think you have the resources to play better. I think it's an interesting conversation that you all are having, and maybe one that needs to be even had more nationally, as to whether, somebody else needs to take over play calling on that team, or whoever, even if you bring in a consultant, whether it's Ron Rivera or who have you. because I hear that. And then I just feel like their mojo is gone. I felt it from the beginning. Like, I mean, when we were there at the beginning of the game, my producer and I were like, because we had the option to pick which game we were at from 3 choices that were given to me. And right from the beginning of the game, we were like, we should have been in Las Vegas. And I don't mean to say that in a disrespectful way, but we said that in terms of the energy wasn't there. We were like, we came here because it was Sunday Night Football and we didn't feel it. You see what I'm saying? And so I felt that. And I think part of what's also kind of sucking the energy out a little bit is because of the Chase Young thing, which continues to go on week after week. And sometimes just adding another star, the star power, I think goes to the overall psyche of the team. And I understand, and I agree that he should not come back until, he feels like he is ready. He told me, it was a group decision, though he kind of said that he felt like he could have gone this week or whatever when we were talking on the sideline. But I do believe, when you're all of the full complement of your stars are on the field, it just adds like a different level mentally. And I do believe that Taylor Heinicke, though he doesn't have the blue chip resume, does have the underdog dogfight ability, to play, and he's not scared. And I like that in quarterbacks. We have a lot of quarterbacks, that are blue chip pedigree and play scared. And we talk about that even with the Jets up here in New York, whether Zach Wilson versus Mike White in the locker room, liking Mike White and not necessarily Zach Wilson as much when it comes to at least how he handled it after that game where they lost against Buffalo 10-3 and he didn't take accountability at that point in time. We have a larger discussion about overall, whatever. But my point is that I do think it's possible for a lower tier quarterback to do that. So I think they have the ingredients right now. I don't think that it's being stirred right, and I think it's up to the head coach to kind of, get that right before the season is completely gone. Because even though I do agree that it shouldn't come down to the last play, they did do enough to kind of come back, and a couple things were taken away from them that shouldn't have been. So they did do it. They just didn't get the call. So that should give them the confidence that they can. Now they got to be able to do the in-game adjustments, and they have to be able to tweak some things as far as play calling, and hopefully Chase Young coming back in San Francisco potentially will help.
Who's the better quarterback, Heinicke or Jones?
Who's the better quarterback? I think right now,
sometimes the calls that they get, make a difference as far as the
I would say
calls.
Overall right now, Jones is. And The reason why I give the edge to Jones is because I feel he's under better tutelage. He's under the tutelage of Brian Daboll. You guys mentioned that 4th and 9 call. Brian Daboll is just not scared. And he also has helped him tremendously in terms of protecting the ball. I believe Daniel Jones fumbled the ball 22 times his rookie year. I think he fumbled it once in that game. I can't remember Sunday, I think. So he's like to 6. So the complete improvement in terms of protecting the ball is a big reason why they started off 6-2, or excuse me, the 1-6-1 or whatever it was. And they kind of drifted, since then when the running game with Saquon kind of teetered and, in and out with the offensive lineman and defensive lineman or whatever. But, at the end of the day right now, the Cowboys and the Eagles are the class of the NFC, so I don't even know if it matters.
All right, well, we're going to take a quick break and we're going to come back and talk about the upcoming game against the 49ers. So don't go away. More Sideline Report when we return.